Hello, my name is Elroy Johnson, Senior. I'm a light school bus driver for LA Unified School District since March 3rd, 1996. I've been with various yards as a cover driver, and also I took on a route as well. Lately, I've been taking a route. It took me over 14 years before I became a full-timer. I've been part-time all that time, and I've been below in poverty wages. And before I even became full-time, there was contract drivers working more full-time positions than me, and they've been in less working as a school bus driver than I have been a school bus driver with the district. Contractors are used to be laid law, which are no longer are defunct, so they're defunct. Riders, I worked with riders, and from there they came the first student, and then Zoom. Zoom is the ultimate. I come to find out, even as a full-time driver, I've been at $29 an hour for over close to 10 years. But when Zoom, as soon as they started at $33 an hour. Minute that's leader like John Lewis, Tanya Walter, Monique Williams, Daryl Clark. We've been talking to our collective bargaining team, and I hear that's where you get in input and try to make changes on your contract. So with our president, current president, Guerrero, yes. And they talked with our executive director, Max Arias, and then they made an effort to try to attempt to take us above poverty wages. We have won a 30% raise, which was positive, and it increased my income. However, it still doesn't get the bills paid. I'm having bills and I'm struggling. And then plus my side essentials that helped me to pay off other things like credit cards. I'm still struggling to do that. So we're still below poverty wages, but our wages did increase. And we thank for the strike and the experience of that. We saw solidarity, people coming together collectively. We were even struck with the teachers. I call it the magenta movement because their color is red, ours is purple. And they were successful in their wages as well. But I think that was because it was collective action with Local 99. And during that time, we experienced and observed homelessness, people who were right across the street from our structure. So with that, we had complained towards labor management, and they was trying to seek to get that resolved, even though they were on public property, and while some had even violated and trespassed, and there was theft. We don't know who did it, whether if it was the homeless or not. All you know is that catalytic converters was being stolen, for an example. Safety was an issue. People were approached by some of these people that scared some of the lady bus drivers, for an example. Just recently, I had to call in law enforcement to have them to escort somebody away from the property. And it wasn't much after that could be done because the gates are open and we still having security issues. So as a member of Local 99, I decided to step up. I got involved. I was elected as a steward. I've been a steward since 2010. And then from there, I seen that it could be more done. Eventually, I was voted into as a labor management. I was the assistant under John Lewis. And then from there, I also decided to run when the seat became open to actually get on collective bargaining team, and I was one of the forerunners collectively with Monique Williams. John Lewis was on there, so he's still a consultant, but he didn't have to run for the position because I'm using the experience because he helped input. We trying to make sure we keep what we have obtained during the progress of our job as school bus drivers, and making sure that all the rest of the members are taken care of, because collective action is how we get things moved forward as a union member. We also consult with, before we do on our personal time endorse certain politicians. We have an opportunity to ask them questions, and the union has made that possible. So we can make sure that people that we vote on our own personal time, that they're going to be placed in positions to continue to help the public and the community, even the working people, period. Let me see. So the strike was a necessity when we saw that things was not being performed last year. And slowly but surely, there's more progress since the strike. But during the things that we made progress on, one step forward, two steps back, we still have management still inclined to not honor the contract, even though it's in black and white. So I'm taking further action by taking these action to PERBs, for an example, and with the consulting of some of the staff members of the union. You know, what is really allowable and that's lawful that it can be presented. Let me see. So when I talked to the co-workers, like, for an example, we was having a contract action team. I was reaching out, texting people, making sure I communicate with the members so they can also come and participate, because the more input we have, the stronger our contract can be. Recently, I also came across a problem in like Article 12, Section 4.1, when it states that the district will attempt to make a split shift no more than 4 hours. Where I had a discussion with labor management, human resource manager, and I was indicating to her, under these grounds, that means you won't go no more than 4.0 hours on the split. So you can't make 4 hours in 1 minute because that's more. You getting into violation. Your first mention about the athletic trips, for an example. The athletic trips that we have is only 1 hour. So that's an indication that you may go less than 4 hours, maybe even 3 hours and 50 minutes, 3 hours, period. Or no less than 1 hour, because we have to have a split for lunch. And then, so they act like they want to comply with our contract, but they try to find loopholes to try to hold us back. That's how oppressors are. So, so what I did to prepare for the strike, I made sure I contacted and kept in touch with my fellow drivers as well, and made sure we showed up. I became the strike captain at not just the nutrition center, but also BD. So we need more of our members to step up to become placed in a position, because you can't wait till at the last minute. If you do, then you're going to be asking questions that could have been answered a long time ago to reinforce the things that's what you wanted. You could have understood what we was fighting for already and won't be hesitant to come and join us. That's any time we go on and make position, it's for the members of Local 99 and whoever else in collective action work to try to make living out of working wages. So, in my experience, again, I reflect back, for an example, there was people blocking the entrance of the school district property. They were people who did not work there. I had to call my fellow drivers before I approached this person, so they can, I just asked them, hey, this is private property. You have to clear the way, because we didn't want nobody interfering with our path of walking unnecessarily. So the members came. The person disappeared before he got there. That's strength and unity. I felt, during that strike, I felt reinforcement of the networking was working. I felt that we was performing as family members should perform when taking care of a household. Collectively together as Local 99 members, we address each other as brothers and sisters, because we are fighting to keep our household together. And in that struggle, we may have fallen outs here and there, but it comes back together. It happens sometimes. That's nature. In union work, that's what it's about. Understanding that there's going to be difference that we can still work with. So, 'cause I feel if we do have to go back on strike, we got to make sure that it's going to be retroactive, reinforced with showing them that, hey, you will no longer lose 3 days because management is not acting right. The only power we have is to strike. That's labor power there. We have to express that again to them. Let's do it. My life changing, still paying bills, still looking to make sure there's food in the house, make sure the utilities are on. We still below poverty wages. And in our current negotiating as a collective bargaining team member, we have to show them that we're not limited to only items that they want to discuss. We'll step forward like we did last year if they refuse to fairly negotiate. Lawfully, when you have an open collective bargaining on contract, everything is supposed to be available to negotiate on. Everything. Then all the items are supposed to be available. Not only do you have a person making a decision from the school district, our chief negotiator makes a decision, but at the back end of the employees. It takes 3 to come together in negotiation. All 3 parties have to exist. So I felt Mayor Karen Bass, as a mediator at the time, had performed an exceptional job. I feel that that's somebody that's one of the politicians as a private citizen and you live in our city definitely needs to be voted on because she's about fairness. She even helped with the homeless situation. Since her entering into office as a school bus driver, and a shop steward in the area, I have to constantly observe what's on around our area, make sure the area is taken care of. There's no debris in the facilities. If we do, as well as labor management, we talk to the labor management, and if it's a city problem, I'm sure we can get in touch with the city mayor and let her know what's going on. Seeing that she has our support, I think that will reinforce when things are taken care of. The agreement that was reached, 30%, that took us closer to Zoom's meeting, for an example. They were making 33. I've been making 29 for well over 10, almost 11 years. I've been at this job since 1996, and hearing about other private contractors making more money than the school district does not make sense when it's a quasi-government that's over the people. And with that being stressed, I'm most proud of being a union member who comes with collective action. So the reason why you want to be involved with politics is because politics is going to be involved in you reluctantly. So be collectively active in your union because the union can hear your voice and they can say, make suggestions, but not demand anything of you. Just only suggest on how your working condition may be improved upon. So always be involved in your union. It's like being involved in politics. That's the message.